Welcome to Bones to Bulk, your source of information on how to gain lean muscle. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And today we're diving into how to push yourself in the gym and not get in a stagnant phase. So strap in and get ready for episode 014. Before we jump in today, I do just want to mention that if you have not gone online and signed up for my free starter's guide on how to get buff, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's free. It's packed with good information. So head over to bonestobulk.com, scroll down right on the homepage. It's right there. Check it out. Sign up. Again, it's free. All right, so let's dive into today's episode. So if you've been following anything that I write, talk about, you know that I am huge on routine. However, routine can get you caught up in kind of a bad habit if you let it. And here's what I mean. You know, we go in the gym and sometimes it can be easy to get in that rut, so to speak. You know, we do the same amount of reps, we do the same exercises, we do the same thing day in and day out. And what happens is we reach a point where our muscles just stop growing, they stop responding to what we're putting them through because we're conditioned to it. So the way to get out of this conditioned state and really start kind of pushing past that plateau or just kind of that mundane day-to-day is shaking things up. And the best way to do that is stop doing the same thing. It sounds easy enough, right? So how do we actually do that and implement it? Well, for starters, we need to do new exercises. You know, doing the same exercises is good, but we've got to change it up. And it's okay to kind of keep the foundational exercises, but you want to incorporate new ones. You know, swap them out each month and do different things. I've been guilty of this myself in the past, of kind of getting in a rut and just sticking with, and it's not conducive to continually be growing and strengthening your body. So I've had to push myself even to get out of that box, to get out of that mentality of, well, I just got to go put in the time and put in, you know, the same amount of reps and yada yada and get out of the gym. And I've had to stretch myself. And it's hard, you know, we like routine when it comes down to it. And the reason is because once we get in a routine, it's easy and we become comfortable with it because, you know, we're used to it. It's kind of like with your work. You know, you have certain habits with work. Maybe you like to get there a little bit early and make sure the coffee is made. Maybe you're one of those who pulls up the last second and then just kind of zones out for the first few 20 minutes that you're at work. You know, regardless of what you do, you have your established habits. And again, it's good to have an established routine and habits for the gym, but we've got to break the mold of what we're actually doing at the gym. So what I highly recommend is, first off, if you're not changing up the amount of reps and the amount of weight you're lifting from week to week, you are doing it wrong. I highly advocate the macro-microcycle theory. It's basically where, you take a macrocycle, which is basically about a month, and you break it down into microcycles that last a week. So you've got basically 4 microcycles lasting a week each. And what you do is for each week, you change things up. So for instance, week 1, you aim for, let's say, 14 reps. Then week 2, you aim for 11. Week 3, you aim for 8. And week 4, you aim for 5. But the thing is, each week, even though you're changing up your reps, you're changing up your weight because obviously you're going to be able to lift more doing 5 reps than when you were doing 14 reps. So this creates some constant change for you, and I have not found anything as conducive to really build your strength as this. You know, I've tried going back to different methods or getting off it for a while and trying things like 5x5s or your typical 3 sets, and nothing comes as close as building your overall strength as the macro cycle, in my opinion. Now, further from that, you've got to learn new exercises. There's great resources out there for finding new things. I mean, there's definitely no shortage of types of exercises. Maybe one week you switch to all dumbbells and everything you do is done from dumbbells. Maybe one week you switch to standing and you don't sit for any exercise. Maybe one week use machines more than free weights. These small changes are going to go so far in changing your overall strength and performance. So don't get caught up, don't get stuck on doing the same thing week after week. And don't be scared to try new things. I like my routine. I'm not going to lie. I'm extremely disciplined and I thrive off routine. You can ask my wife. It drives her crazy sometimes. And so being that I like my routine, something that I recommend kind of doing if you're really stuck on your routine is, okay, you work out, let's say you break your muscle groups into 4 different days. You do chest one day, arms one day, shoulders one day, legs one day, right? You've got 4 different days. However you break it up. I break mine up a little bit differently, but however you do, it's fine. Then you go work out a 5th and a 6th day. So what you want to do on those days is try new things. We get in this mindset that, well, we're not getting a good workout in if we're not doing the routine things that we normally do. This is so not true. In fact, we're probably getting more of a workout in because we're changing it up, because our body's not used to what we're doing. So take a day and figure out some new exercises, YouTube it, Google it, whatever you want to do to find some new things that might stimulate you, that look interesting to you, and try them out. Take some extra time in the gym. Who cares if you've got your phone out looking at some videos for exactly how to do things? Do that and try out new ones. It doesn't necessarily every one you have to do, but once you kind of take that day just to learn new things, then the following week, implement them into your normal routine. And you don't have to change up your entire routine. Let's say you do 8 exercises for a muscle group, okay? Keep 5 and change up 3. That's going to keep your muscles guessing enough to where you're not getting in a rut, you're not getting stifled. And it can be exciting, It doesn't have to be, I'm changing up my routine. No, it's like I get to try out some new exercises. How cool is that? And I get to see, where I feel it the most and how my body responds to it, where I'm going to be sore that I'm not normally sore, and so on. And all that is part of the process for learning more and growing more and gaining more muscle. This is not you find a groove and you stick with it for life. The same goes for food. I am constantly changing up things I do, eliminating things, trying new things, because stagnation is the beginning of death. It really is. You've got to be constantly changing, constantly learning, constantly growing. Otherwise, you're just standing still and not doing anything. And we can be not progressing when we're even doing things. So in other words, you can be going to the gym, but if you're not pushing yourself and you're not breaking a sweat and you just go in and pump some weights and you're not really putting forth 100%, you're kind of doing that 60, 70%, what the hell are you doing? Push yourself harder. You should come out of the gym soaking wet. You should be sweating. You should be tired. You should be out of breath. You should have to take pauses in between your sets because you're out of breath. It shouldn't be like, well, I did 10 reps and now I'm going to take a break for 30 seconds. That defeats the purpose. We take a rest, we take a break for the purpose of being able to come back and do it again, because we literally can't get up another rep. We can't pump out another set without resting. That's the whole point of all that. So if you're just doing something because of the sake of its routine, you're doing it wrong. Like I said, push yourself, challenge yourself. Say, you know what? I want to see if I can lift XYZ today. I want to see if I can go for this many reps. Constantly be pushing yourself and looking for the next thing to overcome. That's what this is all about. It's to grow us mentally and physically. And the more you push yourself in the gym, the stronger you're going to be in every other area of life. I truly believe that everything you do in the gym carries over into real life and other scenarios, situations, because it's that stretching and that pushing that really develops us as a complete person. I hope you found this helpful today. Remember, regardless of what anybody has told you, regardless of what obstacles you're currently facing or have faced in the past, or, even if somebody's put you down and said, you're never going to get in shape, you're never going to look like this, screw that. You can do this. You've got this.